Ones. We have roles, so we have the mayor and myself, so we do have a quorum, eh?
What I heard from Derek?
Derek sends his regrets, he's on the way today.
So we do have a quorum tonight, just. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Finance and Economic Development meeting. We have an agenda in front of us. Any additions to the agenda?
No.
We have a motion to accept the agenda then, please. Richard,
I'll second it. Frank.
thanks. Denise, as the chair, I can't second or make a motion, eh?
Can in committee.
Pardon?
You can in committee.
Tonight?
Right, Rose? Or Denise?
Just to make it cleaner, it'll just be you and the other committee member, Richard, that should first and second the motions.
All right. So I just thought there was something there. Okay. We'll do it that way. You guys are gonna be busy tonight. Just.
Thanks for the offer.
Pardon?
Thanks for the offer.
Oh, you're welcome. Well, you get the big bucks. All right. So we approve the agenda. Anybody opposed to it? If not, that's carried. Anybody got a declaration of pecuniary interest? Hearing none. We have the minutes. May the 21st. Any errors, omissions, or discussions on those?
I'll make a motion to accept them.
Okay, closed. Seconder Richard,
Yes, fine.
anybody opposed? That's carried.
We'll just do all our zeros.
Sure. Should we switch it back and forth, first and second?
All right, no delegations. We don't have any reports from the economic development, or the events coordinator, so tonight. Going into bylaws. Okay, first one is bylaw 2026, the comments for that. You should have all the letters in your bundle. Any comments on those? Yes, Richard.
Well, I was really quite impressed with the comments. I thought there was quite an array of them and they made some very good points and I'm wondering if we want to go through each of the letters and highlight anything in them that we saw of interest, or we would move it on down the line.
We can do that, sir. Okay, the first one on my list is just that Young, eh? Allison Young, Elsa.
Lisa?
Elisa?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Well, that one, the only comment I had is, how is this to be established for health purposes? And it had to do with the septic systems. But then when I was reading through one of the other ones, I realized that there is a provision that if you are not hooked up, you have to have a septic, alternate septic system, whether it's an outhouse or some other kind of a system. So maybe that one's not applicable at this point.
So that's okay. Any other comments on that one? Okay. McAllister. It's on here. Comment on that one there?
I don't know what I did with mine, but, one one issue that he was concerned with, oh, this is it here. And I agreed with him that, he didn't want to scare people away from the municipality with all these, rules and regulations. And my question, of course, was, you probably don't know, Adam, whether we've had any complaints from people about trailers and problems.
The complaints wouldn't necessarily be coming to me, they'd be asking for a bylaw officer anyways, or Sue, would probably be the one who received those complaints. As far as I can say from my answering of the phone, I have not heard anybody say, I have a problem with trailers, I need to talk to Sue. Does that mean that Sue hasn't received anything? No, it doesn't.
Is Sue on?
I think she was supposed to be. Sue, are you there?
Just,
Sue said she was gonna be on, but
anyways, that was a bit of a concern of mine. If we're having people out there that we're not, happy with our rules and regulations, then we need to sit down and talk to them and press on them that we do have reasons for it, and if they have some better suggestions, then we're open to listen.
I talked to Sue this afternoon and she didn't talk or complaints.
Okay, well, that's kind of what I
She
figured.
was online, so if you give her a second, she will let you know.
Okay.
Are you having problems, Sue? I can see that you're unmuted.
I did have issues getting on here. Just saying.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes,
Yeah.
Okay, good. There's a few more buttons I had to press. I thought I was unmuted. So generally, the people who are licensing, we have several. I'd say there's maybe 10 trailer licenses out there. Some have been renewing regularly for a couple of years. Some are on their third year, and they seem content. The odd person when I'm discussing they'll ask about the bylaw and what the rules are. Some people they might be looking at purchasing or whatnot, and I clarify the rules of the trailer bylaw, and they appreciate that. And they might hum and haw a little bit, but they apply and seem content with it. We've run into the complaints that we've had were that the people would want to build decks and accessory structures, and that's not permitted on this bylaw. And so I am very clear with anybody I speak with or anybody that's being licensed that, and I think we clarified a deck is an accessory structure in this bylaw where it wasn't really clear. It's not really clear in the current one. And then that seems to solve some problems. So I'm hoping this summer I don't have any battles with decks.
okay, so you don't see anything that's standing there that's going to scare people away then, of coming to our community because of the constraints of the bylaw?
I haven't had anybody say they're refusing to come to the community because of this bylaw or any other bylaw.
Right, well,
at
it's
this
something I
point.
think we needed to follow up on. Thanks, Sue.
Okay, thank you.
Any other comments on this or questions?
Brad,
Yes,
there's one gentleman, that has, sent a letter,
who was that?
his name was Grant. Bivol,
Oh, we haven't got there yet.
and, okay, you're just going to talk
Yeah,
about.
I'm just going.
Okay.
So that's yes. So the next one is, Miss Lantier. Crystal. If there's nobody. Questions?
And I tend to agree with a lot of what, they're saying here is you have a fairly large piece of property, and we're not talking 1 or 2 acres, we're talking hundreds of acres. It seems a little bit hard pressed to find a justification of refusing 1 or 2 or 3 or a half a dozen trailers for a weekend for a family get together. But again, I get back to what I said on my first one, if you don't have septic system, so then you're inviting a health problem and a health issue, and we have to be cognizant of that too. But maybe we can find a happy medium there somewhere, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah. It is a concern, gray water and, sewage, so I guess that has to be taken into consideration. How many trailers are there, but it's just storage, and I don't see a big problem, but it's when they start getting used,
When they're using them, then you
Yeah.
have to have proper health regulations in fact.
Okay, any other questions on this one? Next letter is, Mr. Nivell, is that how you pronounce it? No. Hmm. Oh, yeah.
His main concern, Mr. Chairman, seemed to be dealing with short-term stays with people that are traveling through. And again, if it's not going to be using the holding tank or the facilities where they're staying, you know, I have relatives come on a regular basis, and some of them have their campers, and they just shut them off for the period of time they're there, and or shut off their wash areas and use our facilities, and sometimes 2 or 3. So you're gonna have to send Sue up to see me one of these days, just so that I'm in compliance here.
So Brian, I was concerned about that last paragraph on page 1, where he points out that, was particularly troublesome, not to be able to have a guest with a trailer at his place when his neighbor operates 2 Airbnbs on the adjacent property, often with excess of a dozen people and up to a dozen vehicles at a time. So it has to be some happy medium in there too. Nobody would want to live beside that.
Operates 2 Airbnbs, often with excessive ability. That is a legit concern. I think it's, is that maximum 8 for short-term rentals?
Don't know, Sue, what's the process there?
Yeah, and I think I know this particular property being spoken about, and this is, this person has 2 separate properties. It's not 2 STAs on one property. There are 2 properties, one on each um, property that he has. And I have had regular discussions. He has asked for exemptions for more people, and he's understood, that he's had to turn away people. So that is my understanding that that is what's happening. I haven't had any further complaints about that myself. I haven't had to investigate, and any issues that we had with this person had been clarified. If they're bringing a trailer, then there is, they are allowed to park a trailer or two trailers in that area, since there's two separate properties and two houses. Um, so yeah, so they are permitted to do that. As for the people, then it would he would have to the neighbor would have to follow up with me with a complaint, and I would have to again investigate and speak to this person. Okay.
Wonder there, Mr. Chairman, if people are there and they're there for a weekend, that's one thing. But if it's a week or 2 week, which is still a short-term period, under this bylaw, they will still have to apply for a $500 permit, is that, or $750, or one of them?
No, the exemption in this bylaw is you are allowed to have a trailer if you have a house. So anybody with a house on their property, they're allowed to park a trailer. If there's two houses on that property, then you can have two trailers. If I just wanted to also speak to the if someone's having a family event, that has happened. People have had a wedding or whatnot, so they just let the municipality know if there's going to be a few trailers, and just to seek permission. So they would, just like an exemption from the noise bylaw, then they would seek permission from council, or at least let us be aware if it's on a property with a house or houses, if there's going to be more than one. So it hasn't seemed to be an issue that I have heard.
Sue, in an event, like a situation like this, where you got multiple trailers and they're gonna be in use, what would be the norm for, waste disposal and, gray water? Is there something that the municipality minimum requirements?
Yes, that is a concern, and they would have, if they have their holding tanks, that they do go empty out as any travel trailer would. If they're only there a day or two, then I believe that that would be normal for them. If there's an area where for gray water and whatnot, then public health would be involved if there's anything like that going on, or they, like you had mentioned, they could have an outhouse or outhouses for an event.
Any other questions? By anybody? Okay. Moving on to last one, I guess. Derek? Okay, Derek? Okay, so they're asking for decks.
Is there such thing, Sue, as a temporary deck?
No, there's accessory structures are not permitted, so they wouldn't be allowed to have a temporary one.
But it just makes the area in front of the camper a lot neater, easier to enjoy.
Yes, that has been a discussion from some people. Like I said, that was found last year people would be popping up all sorts of things, and I would go out with Ray and explain that they couldn't have anything built, any structures. It is in the bylaw. I'm not sure if that's something that council would consider looking at. With it being a travel trailer, the idea is the travel trailer is not to stay there permanently. Once you start popping up structures, then you're getting into building permits for any kind of structure also, which so that would be under Ray's jurisdiction, and I do believe you're not allowed to have any structures built without a residence there. So that gets complicated.
So this would be one that the building inspector would be looking at.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to take my deck down in one hit.
So if they have a building permit and they're gonna build, and they have a trailer on site, which is normal, there's no charge for that. Would they be allowed to put a deck around it, a temporary deck? Say to keep the mud out of their trailer while they're building?
So that would be the CBO's approval. So
Okay, so-
that is a Ray question.
Are you
I-
on there, Raymond?
Yeah, I'm here.
What's your advice on having a deck in order to keep the mud and the grime out of the camper?
Let me think about that one. You can buy all these fancy new what do they call those mats that you can put down. So you don't need to build a deck. You can just put down these fancy mats and you put your lovely outdoor furniture on those, and you're good to go. So you don't need to build a deck.
Answer my question, darn it. So, all right,
And it's cheaper than building a deck.
Thanks, Raymond.
thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, any other questions on these letters? Then I just need a motion to accept these letters.
So be it.
Richard and Rose. That Richard and Rose? All right. Yeah, second part of this thing is that draft bylaw. 2026-14 draft bylaw to regulate recreational trailer vehicles. Comment period ended June 4th, 2026. Okay. Comments from anybody here?
Well, I have all kinds of question marks here. But I think maybe I'll defer them and talk to Raymond. He's the expert on it. In fact, I have more questions than I have check marks, so I think maybe I need to talk to our inspector.
Okay.
One that I just maybe ask Sue, is item 5.6. Where it says each day that a contravention of this bylaw continues shall constitute a separate offense. And when I was looking at the fines for offenses, they were running in the $300 to $500 mark. But we do live in an isolated location, and if somebody was breaking a rule that they weren't aware of, and they're living down in Peterborough, they're not going to be able to correct the situation within a day. So I'm wondering if a minimum of a week would be more realistic.
So this is a clause we put in many bylaws, that if they are not complying or refuse to comply, that we do have the ability to charge daily for the non-compliance. We're pretty nice people. we ultimately seek compliance before writing a fine. A fine is the last resort. Um, we do want to work with people. We want them to understand the rule. We want to help them comply. So I can honestly say I have not sat there and gone and wrote a ticket daily for something of non-compliance, especially if the people are unaware. That's not our goal. It's to that is a tool we can use if it's an extreme situation, but and it's good to be there in any bylaw for a charge if needed. But no, we work with people, and we will ensure that that they understand and that they comply. If we situations where I have gotten to the point where I have sent an order and I have ended up sending a fine under the AMPS with the set fine schedule. If I'm still not hearing from them, we do give it time. We try to ensure we have the right address. Sometimes we'll find a process server if we're having trouble with making sure that they are receiving instead of just a registered mail. Then we will hire a process server. We try to have the conversation, try to work with them. If they all of a sudden say, no, I've been in the hospital or I've been on vacation, can you give me a couple of weeks? Well, sure, of course. And if the fine is still standing, then they have the ability to request a screening officer and from then a hearing if needed. But yeah, generally it's not the case. It's not what happens. If we do go out and if some time's gone by and say we crossed our I's, dotted our T's, we're trying to do everything, go do an inspection, they're still not complying. Well, they could be up for another fine. Yes. If we're still not hearing from them, there comes a point where we're not getting anywhere. At that point, we would look at leaning on the POA system. So at that point, if we're not able to get compliance from them, then it's going to be a part 3 for within the POA. So then we'll have we're looking for a higher power to help enforce this and settle it because we're not getting anywhere. So this is a process and it does take time. So
As long as the process is good and we don't use the stick first, then that's good.
no, you're right there.
Do you have both copies of them, 2023-07 and the new one?
For me, I don't think I have the old copy with me.
Okay.
Is there a
Do you
question?
recall what parts of that bylaw were amended? The new one from the old one?
So let me see. I have my report. We had amended 3.1 defined, which was the assessed trailer. And we had run into issues with someone wanting to assess their trailer, and it's not possible through MPAC because that's not a house. It's a travel trailer. It cannot be a residence assessed by MPAC. So it was kind of a conflict with being in the bylaw. So we had taken that out because assessing your travel trailer is not possible. And also we were looking at section 4.12, and that's the limitation of 3 years for renewals after you've licensed. This is one thing I've spoken a bit about, and as enforcement, it is difficult to see people who are following the rules. They're paying. They're happy to pay. They're happy to cooperate. They're coming from down south. They're here a handful of times a year, and then they want to enjoy their trailer on their property, but we're cutting them off at 3 years and saying, okay, basically, you have to build. That's not always suitable for people in a busy life, living wherever. So that's where we were seeking the extension. I think originally I'd put in my report 7 years, and then the discussion had been, maybe 5 years if there has to be a cutoff point for people. And there are some people that are a bit stressed about it, and they understand. But yeah, that's
Where's
where
that
we're at.
again?
Or, that's not what 414 says, it says 7 years.
Yeah. So then the new bylaw, we changed it. We had adjusted the bylaw so it would be under a different number now, from the old bylaw. So,
But
yeah,
the 7 years is correct for the current one, right?
the current one is
For the
3
draft?
years. The draft is 7 years. Yeah. Or it's 5. I thought it was supposed to be
Well, it's
5 years.
got
Yeah, you're probably
seven.
right. It's 7 years. Okay.
What's the number again?
4.14
4.1.
Another page.
Four.
on the new one.
Another page. 4.14. Next page over,
Well, it was 4.1.
and the top.
The annual license may be renewed up to 7 years. Further license renewals, requests thereafter are to be reviewed, and this one I have a question mark to by council for approval. I think this is strictly an administrative issue, and that probably should change to the CAO. And as long as there's an appeal
I'm
process
missing it.
that council can come to. You must have the wrong one, Brian.
Probably.
It should be 26/14.
No wonder I can't keep up.
414,
There it is.
414, yeah.
So that was the only change or the changes?
Yes, I think that was in my original report. I had stated those 2 changes, plus I just changed the definition of accessory structure, and it included a deck, platform, or any structure built or assembled. And those are the 3 changes to this bylaw.
But what's your thoughts on that 414 change from where, what it was council in there before, Sue, do you know?
No, I think that was added in to be assessed. Yeah, because it was just the original one would have just stated it's 3 years, so it's they can renew up to 3 years. So now we've opened that up, or requested to open that up to give them a little more time and ability to continue to renew with approval.
But my concern is that we're asking for further license renewal requests to be reviewed by council. I don't think it's a council issue unless there's an appeal. Should be the CAO.
Okay, we can put that in.
So it's gonna say 7 years?
Yes.
There's nothing else that was changed, eh, from the bylaw that we got going right now, or that's in effect right now. So,
Yes.
okay,
We can change this whenever the wind blows, can't we, Sue?
Well, you could definitely discuss the future, see what happens, and we can revisit if we're having issues with this for sure.
you're just changing that part from just the other part of that statement for the license renewal? Is that part you're questioning?
Yeah, that was the one with council instead of
Yeah,
CAO. And I think council wants to get involved in anytime there's a,
we get enough involved enough. You want that taken up?
I'd
That's the
like
place to do
to
it.
take it out to change from council to CAO. What's your thoughts on it, Rose?
I find the whole thing fine. I agree with you, though, CEO.
Yeah.
We beat it to death before already.
Through it.
Is everybody happy with the fees structure?
Still has to go to council.
Pardon?
Still has to go to council.
Yeah. We need a motion to move this thing along. If everybody's in agreement. We have the letters. So we can look at those again. We have a week. So. Sorry. Am I gonna be allowed to?
Pass it on to council.
Yeah,
Okay.
So you're saying it's given us readings in the past?
well, I haven't gone that far yet. I'm not supposed to, but
I can send it by email then. It's just about a definition that doesn't work.
is it short?
Yep.
Okay, since you're here,
Yeah, I just wanna make sure that the definition for stored trailer gets put back in.
storage trailer.
Stored,
Trailer.
Yeah.
All right,
because right now it's not in the current draft bylaw, it was in the previous one.
okay. Sue?
Yeah, I'm still here. Yeah, because I think the definition was there, but I don't think it was in the body. I don't think that we ended up having it in the body as the rules. So there was no sense in having the definition if it's not.
But it's in the original?
So you're not permitting storage places?
That would be something that Ray could speak of within the zoning. I know that he might have had a change in the zoning that could allow a stored trailer. Ray, do you want to speak on
And
that?
I can read the, it's in the original, it's in effect right now. 1.16, stored recreational trailer or vehicle means any recreational trailer or recreational vehicle located on the property only for the purpose of storage, but shall not include any recreational trailer or recreational vehicle being used at any time for living, sleeping, or other facilities while located on that property. Okay, all right. So that's that's in effect right now, so.
Yeah, no, I said that's the definition under that point, but we don't really speak to it in within the body of the bylaw for the rules, saying that they
Oh,
are
okay,
permitted or not, or whether they're permitted to or not. So it's really kind of a non-existent issue. So that's why it wouldn't be in the, so you can put a definition in a bylaw, but if it's not referred to from one of the rules in the bylaw, then it has really no meaning.
So just for clarification, if I may, you're not able to store a trailer then on the property? Is there anybody able to answer that? No. So I think that comes up with the few people around that are using it because it's cheaper than whatever, right?
Yes.
Anyway.
Yeah, and again, I think that this is could be an issue with zoning. I mean, it's in this vacant bylaw, the trailer for vacant property bylaw really doesn't speak to it, but there is something in the zoning, and I'm not sure if Ray can hear, but um, it's I think that was with the change to the new zoning bylaw, and I'm unsure exactly how it points to it, but that is something that can be looked into, but it is
Thank you,
not
sir.
part of this.
Thank you.
All right, thanks. Okay. Thank you. Okay, so the committee wants to do is move this thing to council. So I need a motion to
With the changes discussed as,
yeah,
vehicle.
any changes, yeah.
So this is the last shot that we're gonna get at making changes, Mr. Chairman? Well,
That's it.
I better get out all these here question marks I have here then.
Do you have any more
Well,
questions?
I do, but this is just a spelling area. They've got boat houses and toil sheds. I'm sure that's supposed to mean tool sheds. That's in definition number 1.1.
Okay, so we just gotta do a
Faithful.
fingers are fast, apparently, and keys. Anything else? Spelling? No. All right. I need a motion to give it its final reading. And we pass with the changes. For council, yeah. That's what it is. Yeah. Okay, it's what, third reading? I need one of you two to make a motion.
I could make the motion,
Okay.
because, well, I'm talking to Richard, if he has anything else to say.
Good.
He's just gonna let it go. She said we can scratch it out later when thing in there.
Okay, so votes from Richard. Anybody opposed to it? This carried. All right. The other one is the custodial shoreline care municipal land use by law, and that's doesn't, comment period doesn't end until June the 30th, so we won't be dealing with that until August. So moving on, Tracer Road subdivision, it's in progress.
There is an update on that. Apparently it is going to planning board next meeting. Denise might have to help me. I can't remember exactly why she said it's going to planning board.
Yes, the applicants have requested a phased approach. They have did a little bit of altering to a couple of the conditions in the subdivision agreement. It's gone back and forth a couple times, and the issue is going back to the planning board at the next planning board meeting, and we'll have more information for council after that.
And the next planning board meeting, Mr. Chairman, will be Tuesday.
So they are making a little bit of movement on it. Okay, thank you. Next thing on the agenda is the request for permission, lot 3, Twin Harbor Road, Spring Bay Shoreline Stairs. But have a drawing? Richard, or Raymond, what can you tell us about this?
Well, we had a little bit of an issue with the previous property owners. So therefore these new property owners are wishing to have these stairs remain, which were basically built on municipal property without permission from the previous owner. I have to agree with them. Tearing them out will make more of a mess than just leaving them, but I do think that building permit should be issued, potentially waiving the fee for them, but then basically that just makes them have to bring it up to code. It's definitely not totally to code, so that would be my suggestion.
How much of it is on the shoreline allowance?
Probably
There's a
all
little
of it.
bit of it. A majority of it for sure.
Yeah, right, Rose.
But there's
Raymond,
no, sorry, I was just gonna say that there is no permanent residence on this property. It's vacant land.
Go ahead, Rose.
What about all the trees they said they planted, did they?
I'm not 100% sure. I think Sue was working on that with them because there was a bylaw issue on that aspect. So this is kind of where this crosses over to the building department with regard to them building those stairs without permission, and then of course the tree portion, that's kind of Sue's department there. So they did provide that plan.
Raymond, how much erosion is there?
There's no erosion. It's just what they've basically clear cut.
So they're asking permission to leave those stairs in place.
Yes, because of the previous owner's mistake.
But you're saying the previous owners didn't have a permanent residence there?
No, it was strictly vacant land, and they basically built those stairs without permission and cut trees down without permission.
But they're trying to replant what was
The
decimated.
new owners are trying to rectify what previous owners made the mistake on.
Well, the stairs that are already there, since they were built without permission, will not have a safe harmless agreement. Do we not need that, Raymond?
Yes, we would include that as well.
I just want to make sure that's included in the.
Yeah, that's always
Approval.
included. Or Mr. Mayor, sorry.
The stairs are there, Raymond, are they within code?
No, that's why I say they need a building permit. Because they definitely don't 100% meet code.
In order to meet code, would they have to be ripped out or
No,
can they pay? So
they can be renovated.
Renovated to be put in code, so that would be a stipulation too, that the stairs have gotta be, built to code.
Well, if they have a building permit, that's what makes that happen.
Okay.
So requesting or just mandatory building permit.
Yeah.
And Raymond, and you're saying that taking them out would be a lot more damage than if they go in and fix them up the right way?
Yes. For sure.
Thanks.
Well, sounds
It
like
also- it
what
also-
we need.
It also creates a safe avenue for them to get down to their location where they need to plant all those trees.
Opinions?
I think we'll, at least I'm prepared to go ahead with it, let you, be the judge on what needs to be done to rectify the stairs and, do anything else to bring things up to code. What are they gonna live in while they're visiting the place if there's nothing there though?
True.
That's where the trailer permit comes into play.
Or you can get a trailer in there.
Yes.
Okay, so. I guess we need a motion.
I'll make that.
Thanks, Rose. Seconded by Richard. That we allow the stairs to stay there. As long as they get a building permit and hold harmless agreement, eh?
Oh.
And everything's done according to the building codes. Okay,
It's in your good hands, Raymond.
anybody opposed to it? Either one of you? That's carried. Thank you, Raymond.
You're welcome.
Right, oh yeah. Another zoning proposal. Part one, plan 31R 2047, undersized buildings. Board should have a package there for that.
Well, it's kind of a unique idea, but the building isn't much bigger than an outhouse, it doesn't look like. Well, where you ever
199 square feet.
cooking facilities are in it?
Right, on coast too. Can we ask Raymond his thoughts on this too?
Sure can.
Raymond, I'm bugging you again.
Okay, so these people are definitely trying to think outside the box. Our zoning bylaw with regard to minimum size for a residence is 400 square feet. So because these are two separate buildings, they don't qualify to meet the 400 square feet. But because they're gonna connect these with a deck, which would be accessory to each, so therefore it could technically meet the requirement, although they're three separate structures. So they're looking for approval in principle from you guys to allow for it.
So the deck would be considered the third, unit, is that what you're saying?
Yes, correct. Yeah, it would be accessory.
Okay.
Yeah. But
Is there a main
the two
building?
small. Sorry?
Is there a main building?
No, this would be technically the main building. It's only a seasonal lot, right? So they just want to go there seasonally, and they would have those two buildings, which total the 400 square feet, but they're separate. A wife and husband with two kids, so they want to make two separate little bunkies per se. But it has to go through the planning process, so they're coming to you guys before they go to the planning board to seek in principle approval.
Well, I'm prepared to approve it in principle and let the planning board have their say. It's what you call pushing it ahead.
Is there any size restrictions at the planning board?
Oh, they'll have their
The ruler out?
process and they're more
They-
experienced
they would-
at it.
Mr. Chair, they would use our zoning bylaw. It's basically an amendment to it. Similar to an oversized garage, but it's just asking for two separate little buildings to total 400 square feet. Instead of one building totaling 400 square feet. Makes sense?
Are we gonna be running amok of the planning board again? Remember that last little thing where we said yeah, and they said no because it would affect other municipalities?
No, nothing to do with that, Brian.
Is
Just
this,
don't wanna get my knuckles wrapped again.
is this anywhere on the Manitou River? Raymond?
No, not even close. It's off Dial Road, actually.
Okay.
Mr. Chair. Richard, do we have to go to the planning board with this? Is that what the,
Think so, don't we, Raymond?
Yes,
Process?
that's kind of, they approached me first and I said, no, I can't issue a building permit for this because our zoning doesn't allow for it. So therefore, they went to the planning board and now they just, before they go fully, before they apply for their full, approval, they wanted to seek, in principle. Wow.
Is there any harm in us,
Well, as long as we're not unhappy with that kind of a building being built. To me, it doesn't even look like a camp or a part-time house, but I don't know what their intent is with it.
my concern is you end up putting an extension on it.
That would require a building permit.
Yeah, okay. Okay,
I'm not in favor, but I'll pass it on to the planning board and let them deal with it.
well, I still gotta go to council anyway,
Oh,
so
yeah,
I get beat up there. Rose?
yes, I'm in goes to the planning board.
All right. Is that all we need? Pass it through to the planning board? Can make it work.
Yes.
Recommend to council that we move this through to the planning board, okay. Anybody opposed to it? So who's making the motion, Rose and then Richard, eh?
Whatever.
All right. It's 50-50 shot. Yeah, so what's gonna happen, we'll get our fingers wrapped again. Okay. Planning board minutes, the regular meeting, May 26, 2026, canceled. So there shouldn't be any minutes to a canceled meeting.
No, there's no minutes. Want to make sure I didn't get left off next month's agenda.
Okay.
That's why I couldn't find them then.
Yes, it said, I made sure I wrote down canceled beside it. There you go.
Well, I just happened to see that word canceled. I was looking for them too.
Sorry. I'll hold that one next time.
All right, next one thing is the errors list. Arrears list. Yeah,
Move to accept them.
Richard,
I'll second that, Brian.
thanks, Rose. Any questions on them?
Just comment that a year ago, we were talking 6.9 or 7 and 6% outstanding overdues. in those last two columns. This one's up to 12. So again, timing, Adam?
Hard to say, I mean, I ran the report on Tuesday morning, so it's as up to date as you can be, and, the truth is that we didn't have a whole lot of payments come in this month. So, I have to assume it is accurate and that it's just, I'm hoping that it's just a fact that it's timing and it's gonna get caught up in August when people really start getting their next bill and noticing that they have penalty and whatnot. I'm hoping that at that point, everybody just, pays up, but we'll see how that works. I was a little alarmed the fact that it went from, 1.22 down to 1.086. I was hoping that that number would decrease a little bit more. I can't make them pay the taxes.
I'm just sort of worried that with the cost of living and the prices of everything gone up, that people are gonna start having trouble paying their taxes. And that would be the first thing that I wouldn't pay if I was struggling to put food on the table and a roof over my head. So,
Mr. Chair?
Yeah.
Adam, if you look at the ones between 1,000 and 5, that number is really high, 34.
Well, it was 33 this time last year. It was 33 last month, it's 34 this month. Yeah, that fluctuates a bit. Some people pay it down and then a couple of new people don't, and it goes up. I'm much more concerned about the fact that, well, I take a look at it globally, 3 years in arrears, 137 total versus 138 last month, so one person paid off their 3 years in arrears. Okay, so we haven't made as much progress as I would like to have seen.
I guess that's something we're gonna have to keep an eye on, eh?
Yes?
Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
I was actually expecting that it'd be a little bit busier in terms of collections last month, but
Any other questions, Lana? Anybody opposed to accepting it? We did have a motion already.
yeah.
Yeah, good. That's carried. All right. Check register.
It's your turn, Rose.
Great. Make a motion, accept. Check register.
Well, I'll second that, Mr. Chairman. Ask some questions.
All right.
Oh, I remember hearing this perfect mind. Remind me again what we spent $15,000.
Facility software.
And Norm's hardware flooring for 16,000, 46,470, check.
$470.
46,470, yes. Norm's hard flooring. Did we do any hardwood flooring?
I believe that we did one of the halls, if I'm not mistaken.
Providence Bay Hall.
Providence Bay Hall, was that right?
Providence Bay Hall? Okay, that's,
Yeah, I was talking to the gentleman in Jaker, he's saying that that's the last time, if they complete sanding and refinishing. Apparently the tongue and groove portion of the wood is not most of it, but it's pretty much finished.
had the biscuit, eh?
Yeah. Nice guy, last time he passed forward, he's retired now, so.
And check number 46,479, Pinchin Limited. Now, I think they're a consulting group for $7,078, but I couldn't remember us getting any consulting.
They do a lot of our survey work. They would be somebody who we consult about looking at a drainage ditch, for example. Let me just take a look here and see if I can find out exactly what that check was for. 2026 spring landfill sampling report. So again, they were doing some sampling of our landfill site.
Yeah, over here.
Thank you. And the next one right after that, 480 to Larry Moniz for 5,000 even.
That was for CIP approved by council, Manitoulin.
Oh, that was the grant, okay. CIP grant. All right, all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Any others? Adam, that's some quick questions here. I see that broker link, $6,000. Is that monthly we pay them?
That was an addition because now we own a church.
Oh, so that's just the premium for the church?
Correct.
No, no, I think that's the premium for the director's
Well-
insurance for the historical society. The premium for
Oh,
the
yes.
church, I believe, was only 1,300.
You are correct, Denise, I'm sorry, that's true. Yeah. Sorry about that.
The director's insurance for historical society?
Yes, for the Central Manitoulin Historical Society.
All right, is that something new?
No, we've
No.
paid that every year for, well, not that amount, it changes every year, but we paid that insurance every year for, well, it was 23 years, as long as I've been here, and probably longer than that.
Yeah,
That's one of those items that Councillor Scott keeps saying that the insurance is gonna go up somehow. That's one of those items that go up somehow just because of the timing of when we get that bill, so.
Counselor Scott's pet peeve.
Well, correct, but nonetheless.
I wondered, Adam, about check number 46460. Is that a monthly payment or a quarterly payment or what is?
46460.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what we pay the DSAB every month. Yep.
Yeah, thank you.
Well,
Every month, yeah,
yes,
that's a lot of money.
about 900,000 a year. Between that and replacing
Church
costs, it's in busing.
roads.
Plus landfill sites, for us too. Mhm.
So with DSAP, police service corps, insurance, what else is set up and paid?
DSAB runs us probably about between, well, one second here, we can give you a number here.
That's under a mil.
DSAB social housing is 222,000. DSAB childcare is 52.9. DSAB, Ontario Works is 68.5. And DSAB ambulance is 623.7. So we take those four numbers. And that gives us a nice round figure of what we budgeted for, which is real close. 967,100. And that's for DSAB.
Yeah.
Our policing came in about 800,000 and change. Let me just see here. Sorry, I had mistaken. It came in 595,800.
That's because we got a discount,
Yes, they limited their cap to 11%.
Yeah. but that may not happen this year. They haven't,
I've heard no indication either way.
no.
So that's
The
one
health
health
unit's another 300,000.
Pardon?
The health unit's another 300,000.
Yeah, don't wanna.
So we don't have money. I'm not sure how.
Yeah,
I'm
apparently-
not sure how.
Turning to, most of a lot of our taxpayers think we're just loaded here,
They do, yeah, they do.
And unfortunately, for the most part, we don't have a say in that. There's separate
No.
boards that decide what the levy is. We just get the bill.
Yeah, basically these ones here you talked about are, shut up and pay.
DSAB policing,
Yeah.
exactly what they have. They actually have acts
And our-
that govern how much they
Yeah,
can.
and our insurance.
But I must remind you all that we get $1.8 million every year from the provincial government to help pay for that. Of course,
you add up
just as we
these-
talked about.
Did you add up these
I
last,
know, I'm saying just
Yeah.
add those and up, you've got 1.8 that's coming in from one source.
yeah. All right, no use dwelling on it, I don't wanna lose sleep time. All right, anybody else got anything on this? All right, anybody opposed to accepting the check register? Or is carried. All right, Finance and Economic Development Committee, year to date. Any comments on that?
Guess you wanna put it on the floor, so I'll do that.
Richard and. I don't even know why I'm writing this down.
One query there, if I could, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah.
Roads got some revenue from other sources. Last year at this point in time, we collected 7,000.
Can I get a count number, please?
Oh, sorry, 412 3710 000.
So last year we had received 99,
69,
pardon me?
69. We
Oh, I'm sorry, yeah.
budgeted 10,
Yeah.
we got 69, so we dropped it to 7 in our budget for this year, but we got over 10, so I was just curious what it was for.
Well, we have 13 plow trips that we've done for a neighboring municipality. And that totaled up to 7,700, give or take. And looks like we sold some of our salt or sand to somebody for $2,600, give or take, as a revenue. So,
So it's come from one of our sister municipalities.
yeah.
Thanks, Adam.
Any other questions? See a little bit of yellow on yours, gonna, Richard.
Well, I do, EC special projects revenue, 420, 38, and a bunch of zeros with a 13 at the end. We budgeted 4,500 in 24 or 25, sorry, and we got less than 3. We budgeted twice that amount in 26, and we've only got 5. So again, the one that goes up and down, and
This is related to special events coordinator, all of her exercise classes and whatnot.
Yeah.
So right now, I think that halfway through the year, as of May, we were at 4,700, so that's 5/12 of the year. Let's say half, you'd be looking real close to 9,000 by the end of the year. I believe that's the budget.
That's a EC special project?
Yeah, EC special project
Yeah.
revenue.
Did you get a partial grant for that too?
That is kind of part of her seniors grant.
Yeah,
That is more in the provincial grant section of that. So this is stuff that's over and above her seniors funding.
any other? Okay, that's it,
yeah.
alright. Anybody opposed to accepting that? This carries. Correspondence, letter from the township of New Glengarry. Well, those, it's one of those things that, Richard, you love reading at council. which I have no intention of reading here.
How are we gonna hear it? I didn't get a chance to read it yet.
All right.
I figured you'd just figure it right off.
Okay. That the council of the township of New Glengarry support the Eastern Ontario Wardens Caucus Resolution 2026-03, Ontario most outdated property reassessment in Canada. I'll call to return to property tax reassessment cycle as presented. And that's as far as I'm reading.
And if I may, last Fed meeting, we had a similar type report from a company that nobody had really heard of, but it was basically parroting the same idea that we need to go back and get impact to reassess at a more reasonable rate. Like more regular is what I'm trying to say. More regular.
We know they're 7 or 8 years behind their assessments. Anyways, I accept this for information.
Okay. Rolls are seconded.
Thanks, Brian. Yep.
Anybody opposed, right? Accepting for information? That's carried. Okay, letter from the municipality of Calvin. Request for provincial review of CVA-based apportionment, May 27th, 2026. So that's another council resolution. What is that, CVA?
Current value assessment. It's basically how impact determines the value of the house and whatnot, and your tax, what you should be being taxed on. Basically, in Appendix A, they're recommending that they take some hybrid model between going with a straight current value assessment and using a per household method, so a 75-25 split, which would, excuse me, it would change part of the, change their assessment to be not as high as what a CVA would be, but not as low as what a household would be either. So basically, they're trying to find some middle ground between that to figure out what the correct property tax assessment should be.
Which is something we should be doing all of the time, is looking for new alternatives and better ways of evaluating things. Because your current value is what they're basing their assessments on, so we want to bring it as close to that as you can. Again, I'll accept that for information.
Thanks, Richard. And Rose for second. Anybody opposed to it? Carried. That's it. Oh my goodness. Okay, anything in camera? Nothing. Need a motion to adjourn and we're done?
Yep.
Thanks, Rose. Richard,
I'll follow it up. Thank you.
we are done.
You, Mr. Chairman.